holiday season as the second pandemic Christmas approaches. But governments are scrambling to find ways to keep the Omicron variant at bay and avoid a massive wave of transmissions. For more, we're joined by Deutsche Welle correspondent Nicole Frölich from Berlin. Nicole, Germany is set to tighten COVID restrictions once again, but will it be enough?
Well, Meredith, experts really doubt it. On Tuesday, state and federal leaders got together once again to decide on a new set of measures, a fairly mild set of measures, like the closure of clubs and a reduction of private gatherings to no more than 10 vaccinated people. But those measures won't come into effect until after Christmas. So what we're going to see over the next couple of days are thousands of people cramming into overcrowded buses and trains to go and visit their elderly parents and grandparents across the country. The reasoning for the German government behind this delay is that in the past they say that the holidays have proven not to be pandemic drivers, but the scientific community is, as you can imagine, not too excited about this. The Robert Koch Institute, the Center for Disease Control here in Germany, has called for an absolute minimization of personal contacts and more drastic measures like the extension of school holidays and the closure of all non-essential businesses, because according to their modeling, Omicron is threatening not only to put even more strain on an already struggling healthcare system, but also to threaten the entire critical infrastructure here in Germany.
So across Germany, there's been protests and they continue to build. What are they calling for?
Well, over the past weeks, thousands of people have taken to the streets in dozens of cities across the country, mostly protesting against vaccine mandates. That's a topic that's being hotly debated here in Germany. It's not yet a fact. The only people who have to get vaccinated by March of 2022 are people who work in care homes and hospitals. But we've seen these kinds of protests in other countries. You've seen them in Australia as well. And considering Germany's vaccine hesitancy, it's not really a surprise that we're seeing them here. What is worrying authorities is an increasing radicalization of the people taking part in these protests. We've seen people marching with torches to private residences of politicians, murder plots against state premiers, and an increasing presence of the far right among these groups. So it's something that the authorities are keeping a very close eye on, but it bears pointing out that this is a very vocal, a very loud minority. 71% of Germans would actually like to see a vaccine mandate and are in favor of more strict measures to keep Omicron at bay.
What's the situation around the rest of Europe?
Well, Omicron really is taking Europe by storm. It's now the dominant strain in England and Scotland, in Ireland and in Denmark, and it's only a matter of days or weeks, according to who you ask and what the calculations are, that it will replace Delta across Europe as the dominant strain. So we're seeing a ramping up of measures across the board. The British government seems to be following a similar approach to the German government. Restrictions, yes, but not before the Christmas holidays. In the Netherlands, meanwhile, people are already in the middle of a Christmas lockdown that will last until at least mid-January. Swedes are back to working from home, and an explosion in cases in Spain has brought topics like nighttime curfews and a outdoor mask mandate back on the table. So after the arrival of Omicron, there is a lot of nervousness, not only in Europe, but across the world heading into the holiday season. Even if there are no official restrictions on movement or on public gatherings, people are called on to practice utmost caution. The WHO has warned that there will be an increase, a dramatic increase in cases and deaths after the holidays, and the head of the organization has said that it is better to cancel a gathering than to cancel a life, Meredith.
Okay, Nicole Frölich reporting there from Berlin. Thank you for the update. In the UK, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson is adamant there won't be any more restrictions imposed before Christmas.